is, ladies and gents. Woo, we are back. It's Monday and we are on fire. Got a good one for you guys today because I don't know about you guys, but collecting money can be difficult at times. Today's guest is going to show us what's up. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
Is your business in need of customers? Then you found the right show. Hernan Cias is the business bro, and he makes getting customers fun and easy. Watch, listen, and learn as each episode is designed to sell. Welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Yes, do this, ladies and gents. Time to drop some heat. All right. You know, there are times when you do a great job. Let's just say most of the time you do some great work, and then it comes down to let's get paid, and you just sometimes can't collect. What do you do? Today's guest is going to share with us how she gets people to pay up. Her focus is on three things: problem solving, customer service, and gratitude. So let's learn how we can take those lost account receivables and turn them into a receipt. Welcome to the show, author of Collect the Cash and a revenue recovery consultant, D. Bowden. All right, D. I told you we were going to have some fun today.
Oh my gosh. I love the intro, man. That is like hype, like 10x. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. First of all, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to your fabulous listeners around the world. I'm super happy to be here today. This is an absolute honor to be on the Business Bros Show. So Hernan, and to your partner, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I kick it off with gratitude. That's how we get down.
You know what? And you have energy, because the whole thing about, for me, sales and collecting money and doing all those things I've learned is a transference of energy. Like there's something about being a good person and trying to do right by others that all of a sudden it comes back to you like 10x multiple times over. If you're just have a good energy about today, understand that, hey, you're awake, and the fact that you're awake is already a win in life. And then it gives you an opportunity to improve from there. So let's talk about you. Why
are you doing this?
Because I want to know.
I definitely want to know. Why get into this?
So how about this? Can I tell the people a little bit about me, and I'll answer that question as well?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So here it is. So I'm D. Bowden. I'm the author of Collect the Cash. I'm originally from Boston. I now live in the great state of Maryland. Fun facts about me: I love Ferris wheels, smooth jazz, great wines, hot air balloons, and then what else? Oh, and I obviously love I love sports. So that's like my other thing. So those are my fun facts. So definitely love smooth jazz. Absolutely love Ferris wheels. I love great wines and all the things. And here's the thing: I think while you're in business, you got to go hard for business, but you also got to make sure you have some fun and some playtime. You got to have that balance. It's so important, and especially when you're talking about money, coins, bag, all the things. People are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so stressful." It is. I agree. But if you balance it out with what I consider good, fun self-care, which is what I described, then it's not that difficult.
It's part of making your day worth living, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I love the work that I do. Literally hopping on the podcast, talking to someone new, that is fun for me, right?
Right.
Some people might call it prospecting. Some people might call it, whatever it is that they call it. It's work. You got to do that every day. Hell yeah, I get to do this every day. But at the same time, there's the point where you need to unplug and go do something else, right? Do whatever it is. And sometimes it's to plug into something else. Like I've been playing Xbox lately and going back to playing some Halo again. And just, sometimes it's the competition of it, right? So doing something that makes you happy, that makes you laugh is vitally important. But collecting, bill collectors, like, I don't know how does that put a smile on your face, aside from when you actually get, that money to come in. Most people who have a hard time paying are not looking forward to your phone call.
I know. So, Hanan, and to your fabulous audience, this is the story of what had happened was. So what had happened was, about 15 years ago, I used to work for a small IT company outside of Boston, where I'm originally from. You know how it is when you get hired for a company. They usually tell you, welcome aboard, here's your cubicle, Here's your box. Here's your plant. When you do accounts receivable, collecting the cash, they usually give you a list of accounts and they say, hey, you said your resume says you know how to collect this money. We need you to do what your resume says. I said, okay, cool. So I get my cubicle, and here's how this is how all of this got started. They said we have $8 million in outstanding receivables. I said, y'all have what? They said, yeah,
Ooh.
8. Yeah, exactly. That's the same sound I had. I think I coughed. I was like, y'all got how much? They said
What?
$8 million. I said, oh, really? And they said, okay, exactly. So they sold. So this is an IT company. So they sold software licenses, computers, accessories, all the things to major corporations, government agencies, and small businesses. And I was like, and get this, y'all, they had a collections team. It wasn't just me. They had a bunch of people that were assigned to collect this money. But evidently, they had run up against some walls, and they were like, we cannot crack this code. We cannot collect this money. So I was like, okay, so I'm a believer. So I literally took my list, and me and God had a straight conversation. Hey, God, yes, D, how are you? You know what? Overall, I'm fantastic. Your word says you have not because you ask not. If you're lacking wisdom, ask me for it, and I'll give it to you. I said, I got quiet. And the 3 things that came up, which are the 3 keys you introduced me as, I said, I do problem solving, which is answering the question of what had happened was, why haven't we got paid? Got to figure out the problem. Second, so problem solving is number 1. Number 2, customer service. We all know good customer service and we know horrible customer service. I decided that as a part of my business model is this problem solving, number 1, it's customer service, number 2, and the secret sauce is gratitude. And most people, when they hear the story, they're like, what's up with the gratitude? I'm like, it's real simple. Your parents, whoever raised you, they taught you two key words: please and thank you. And I've learned in the many years of doing this that when you go back and say thank you to the person who helped you, helped you get the check cut, make sure you got processed, whatever. When you go back and tell them thank you, the next time you run into a problem, they're most likely to help you because you've gone back and acknowledged them and said thank you. And when I learned that small key, or which is now a huge key, I was like, oh, this is about to be a game changer for real. So back to the story. Me and God talk. I get my 3 keys. I go back and that's okay. He said problem solving, customer service, gratitude. Bet. Problem first account I get. They said, hi, this is how it goes. Hello, I'm D. I'm calling on behalf of such and such company. Can I speak to the person in accounts payable, please? Sure. Hey, Susie, this is D. How are you? Great, fantastic. Listen, got a question for you. We're 60, 90 days past due in this invoice, and we don't know why. Oh, D, we changed our billing system. That'd be like old school. If you use Microsoft Excel and now you're using QuickBooks and they didn't tell you. I said, are you serious? Yeah. I said, they said, oh, we changed our system and we told all of our customers. You did? When did you do this? She says, oh, we sent an email. I said, my company didn't get the email. So problem solving, getting on the phone and having a conversation, digging into the weeds. How come we haven't gotten paid? As a billing system issue. Number 2, there was an email that was sent. Evidently, back in the day, it must have gone to spam. Nobody knew about it. Didn't check it. Okay, cool. Ask her to resend it to me. I said, great. So when one phone call of the $8 million that was owed, I collect $2 million with one phone call by problem solving, customer service, and gratitude. Just like that.
That is straight fire. Like, it's funny because it sounds so simple.
Yep.
Wait, you just switched platforms? So your software changed? Oh, so can you resend that email to me? Yeah, sure, no problem. Here it is. Click, done. And a team of collectors couldn't get that done. A team of people that was already there couldn't do that. What do you think is stopping them? Like, I don't understand. Like, do you think it's like walls that we put up on ourselves that we don't want to make that call? We're starting with aggression right away.
Yeah, I definitely think it's walls, because here's the thing. Okay, I was a part-time person, y'all. I worked Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. These people my team, they were all full-time people. But I have been doing this kind of work and recovering lots of money for a long time. And I know that usually when accounts have gone 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you can't just send an email. A lot of times you got to get on the phone. You have to have the conversation. I like to say it this way. You can't solve everything with 144 characters. As much as we love the text and do everything with 144 characters, sometimes you gotta go old school and go, hi, can I talk with you for a few minutes about this issue? I don't know why that team wasn't able to do what I did, but what I do know is that in 60 days, I collected $6 million. Now, we start out with 8. I get 6. This is a true story, and it's in the book. But get this, y'all. After collecting $6 million, the CEO of the company says, listen, we need to have a chat. Now, if you've ever worked in business, especially if you worked in sales and you work on commission, you know if you make the sale, you're expected to get that commission check because it kind of goes together. Well, in this case, the CEO says, listen, let's come downstairs, let's chat. Now, this is not just me, this is the entire company. He says, oh, we want to thank you for what you've done. Everybody. So that's all the salespeople, all the contracts people, order entry, order fulfillment, everybody, including billing and me, receivables. Thank you. Executive decision is made. Translation: we done got all the money. Now we're gonna close the company and we're letting all y'all go. 2 months before Christmas. This is a true story. It's in the book. And
I wasn't aware that was something a person could do.
Damn, they did you dirty. Like that was.
Hey,
so
but it wasn't. Here's the
wrong.
thing. It wasn't just me. They did 100 people dirty.
Oh.
But here's the thing. You asked me in the beginning of the question, the beginning of the call. You said, "Why do you do what you do?" And here's why. After collecting that much money for a business that chose to go out of business, I looked. Of course, I had emotions. I felt bad and mad and all the things. But what I learned was a very, very, very valuable lesson. My book is called Collect the Cash. The sale is not complete until the money's in the bank, but you must collect it first. So when you ask me, do we put up walls? Yes. Do we avoid difficult customers, challenging accounts? Yes, all the time. It's no different than what we do in our personal life. If you got something that you need to deal with, you keep putting it to the side because you're like, I'll get to it. But in this case, they didn't get to it. And even though I collected as a part of a team, I collected $6 million. That company had made an executive decision to close after they got the money and all the things. And I'll never know what happened. But here's the thing. What I learned from that was this. Fast forward to COVID 2020. And I'm talking to I hear a Facebook Live and I'm talking to my book coach. And she says, D, you have a system to teach business owners how to win. And I said, I do. And she said, oh, I need you to write this book. And at first, if you didn't know anything about double dutch, I was double dutching like a bug. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this. And she's like, no, you got to tell us. No, I'm not doing it. Yeah, come on. And so she won. That's why y'all got a book today. But hey, here's the thing. I talk about business to business collections because I was one of the people that lost their job back then. You fast forward to COVID 2020. I'm sitting here watching companies, sport. I said earlier in my introduction, I love sports. I'm watching sports arenas be open, but all of the vendors who sell food and ice cream and all the things, most of them were probably small businesses who lost money, and on and on and on. So I'm watching my story replay. And then the biggest thing was when Broadway shut down, I was like, this thing is no joke. Because here's the thing. You got to think about it. Broadway is a multi-million-dollar business. All the theaters have contracts with business owners. A lot of them are small. They get their first opportunity to sell the t-shirts, the tchotchkes, or whatever. And I'm thinking people probably had contracts that they were counting on and sales they were counting on and money that they didn't get to collect because they didn't get to make the sale. And that's why I do what I do, is because this is a personal journey for me. And it's also to teach business owners to track their sales, number one. But number two, get your sale, deliver great customer service, build the people, and get paid. That's why I do what I do.
You tell such a good story. You didn't even allow me to jump through some slides. So let's make these little slides a little quick. All right. So as simple as you can explain it to a 5th grader.
What do you do?
What are you doing now? Like, okay, you were in the bill collecting, but is that what you're doing now?
Yes. So actually what I do is I'm actually I'm a trainer. So I'm a couple of things. So I'm an author. I'm a trainer. I work with small businesses. I teach them to basically track their sales and track their payments. And I teach them when your payment, the date that the payment is due, when it doesn't come in, these are the steps you got to take to go get your money. That's what I do in a nutshell.
Damn. And it's funny because when I think of small businesses, in my perspective is on the lead generation, the customer acquisition side. I'm looking at a customer and saying, look, man, you need a sales process. Like, you don't have a system in place to get a customer from inquiry all the way through converted. Like, what is your sales process like? I don't have one. Okay, well, that's where the problem begins. You're taking it up right after that. And that's a whole different ballgame, because now there's a system that goes into place, and we're not talking, it depends on the business. You're talking B2B, so you're probably dealing with, accruals, 90-day nets, or whatever it is. And so there's time in between point of sale to cash collection. And once they get there, like, you just assume that those are going to come in. How much, when you sit down and look at somebody's P&L, how much are you sitting in your accounts receivable that goes overdue like that, and that they just write off at the end of the year because they don't go after it?
And it can be $1,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars. And here's why I know part of people, you ask me, why don't we do this? Some of it is, if you're a small business, and small business is up to $5 million. So let's because I don't want everybody to think everybody who's in small business doesn't mean you're a solopreneur. You could be a small business of 50 or 100 or a couple of hundred people, but your revenue is, I think the Small Business Administration says, up to $5 million. So that's one. Number two, why won't you go collect? Here's the thing. Why won't you go collect on the sale that you made? Mm-hmm. That's the question we need to answer. Why won't you go collect on the sale that you made? Because you think about it, if you did a great sales presentation, whether you did it or you had an automated system that did it, doesn't matter. You told the people, we can deliver the following. We have this process, we do this, and we can deliver this. And we expect once we sign this contract or sign this agreement, we're going to deliver, we're going to bill you, we're going to get paid. That's what you're expecting. Now, why won't people go collect? Number one, they're not strong enough in being able to go negotiate or at least get on the phone and ask the questions. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it's customer relationships. A lot of people are afraid that if they go ask the customer for the money that they're owed, that they may damage that relationship and that they won't get more business. So they would rather not deal with that part and keep hoping that they'll keep getting more business. But here's the thing. Your business is generated from sales, deliverables, which means the product or service that you do, and then you got to bill them, and then you got to get paid. It's like this. If you were to take out your cell phone, this is your business. Your cell phone is Team iPhone, Team Android. It doesn't matter. Welcome to whatever store it is. Hey, you're a customer of such and such. Great. Let me check you in. Let me get your driver's license, confirm who you are. Oh, you know what? You're eligible for an upgrade. You didn't even plan on upgrading your phone. Your phone just wasn't working and you had a question. That's it. Next thing you know, boyfriend or girlfriend is telling you, hey, you're eligible for an upgrade. The sale has already started. They just dropped the fact that you're eligible for an upgrade, and you're like, well, you know what, man, my phone is a little bit old. It's 2022. Yeah, I think I do want a phone. Boom. So they started the sale. Next thing you know, they tell you to go walk around the store, take a look at all the different phones, and then you're like, oh man, this is the newest Samsung Galaxy, whatever, or Team iPhone, blah blah blah, and it's got the watch, the electric charger, the AirPods, earbuds, all the things. And you look up, you're like, oh man, the sale already started. Now you're into a new contract. So this is what happens in business. New sale, new contract. Next thing you know, order fulfillment. When you've picked up your phone, they take the back of the box, they scan it, and they've already put your information into the system, and they've already got you set up. So they're like, okay, you're gonna pay off your old phone, take the credit, put it toward the new phone, boom. So that's done. Order fulfillment. They're keeping inventory of every phone that's sold, and by whoever, they know who has that phone. Then they'll say, Hernan, hey, when do you want your bill due? Which is basically accounts payable. That's what the company does, bills you. You'll say, oh, you know what? I get paid on the 15th or whatever day of the month. I want my bill due this day. They've already set up your billing date in the system. Accounts receivable, which is what I do, collections, you tell them we're gonna pay them on this date. Or as I jokingly say, they got this magic button. They'll disconnect your services. You keep playing with these people and don't pay for their phone. But listen, what I just showed you is when you take your cell phone, their cell phone is this. There's a sale, there's a new contract, there's order fulfillment, there's order entry, there's accounts payable, which is billing, accounts receivable, which is collections. You pay them. or I joke about the button to disconnect your services. But here's the thing: you don't get to leave that store until they see these two magical words: transactions approved. Whether you use a credit card, a debit card, or cash, all
Mhm.
of what Collect the Cash is I want you to walk away with transaction approved in your business. Get the money for the services that you provided. I hope that lesson makes sense. But that's what you do in business.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You just laid out the entire process, and that's really what it comes down to, understanding where you're at in the process. So if you don't understand where you are and they want to work with you, right? Help me describe that ideal client.
I am looking for qualities beyond the physical.
Who's going to best qualify to work with you?
My best qualified customers are I love people that are in the IT space, software space, software as service space, because they're usually brilliant in selling the situation or selling the service, but the back office part, not so much. They don't like doing that part. So they're my ideal people, because at the beginning of my story was I told you I worked for an IT company that did really well with selling services, but their collections piece was not that good. So I would come alongside, my company would come alongside you, and we would talk about how many sales do you have, and in what bucket are the invoices due? Are they 30 days past due, 60 days, 90 days? And if that's not your strength, then outsource that, or have somebody like myself come alongside you, and let's work together and get your tracking system set up of all your accounts, how much money is owed to you, so we can make the calls and start to get the money in. It usually is just as simple as a phone call. It's usually also the problem solving. The problem solving is this. It could be they've ordered 10 computers from you or software licenses, and you delivered 9. Well, just like if you order something from Amazon and it doesn't go well, guess what do? You get on the phone. Hi, I'm such and such, and can I speak to somebody in in customer service, please? Sure. They get on the phone and they're verifying all your information: your name, your email, your mother's maiden name, this, that, and the third, your account number. You ordered 10 things, you only got 9. Now, a good customer service rep is going to apologize for you being inconvenienced, number one, and number two, they're going to go above and beyond to fix it. Well, in the same vein, when I talk about business to business collections, your responsibility as the owner who provides that service, you have to go above and beyond. If your customer hasn't paid you, you have to be willing to have the conversation. And sometimes it's as simple as, can I meet you for coffee? Can we meet on Zoom? Can we meet on Microsoft Teams? Let's talk about where we broke down, and do I have an opportunity to do what I call course correction? That means translation. Can I have an opportunity to fix this? Because nobody gets it right all the time on the first swing. Whether you, like I said, I'm talking about sports. So on the first swing, unless you're that professional who just knows when that ball hits in the middle of the plate, you're like, let me knock it out the park.
Mine.
Usually, everybody else, it takes us a couple times before we get that swing. Well, in this regard, what I get to talk to you about today, I've been swinging, if you will, at this for a long time. I have been learning how to build the relationships and how to do problem solving and how to do customer service and how to express gratitude. The gratitude is the secret sauce. And I realized that it's just like this, Hernan. We just went through the holiday season. I know today's Valentine's Day. So people who are single or not, you're hoping that somebody is acknowledging you and saying, thank you for being in my life and all the things. That part. Well, in the same vein, your customers during the holiday season, especially in the States, around Christmas, New Year's, they're sending out thank you cards. They send you out holiday cards, and one of the things they say to you, thank you for doing business with us all year. We appreciate your services, blah, 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 blah. We wish you happy holidays, and we look forward to serving you in the next year. What are they doing? They're doing customer service, number one, and they're doing gratitude, number two, because get this, they know you have a choice of where you spend your time and your treasure, which is your money. Mm-hmm. And if they don't take care of you, you'll take your coins and you'll go play someplace else. And that's why they're that whole follow-up. That's why the surveys, oh my gosh, if you go to any restaurant, what are they doing? They got a survey. If you're feeling this and you give us this, you get this. What are they doing? Customer service, because they realize you have choices on where you spend your money. Well, in the same vein, as a business owner, how you take care of your customers matters. If you're not really good at problem solving, you've got to get really good at it, or you got to find somebody who else is. That's one. Number two, customer service. It's not only just the, hey, I'm sorry for your inconvenience. It's, what can I do to fix it? What can I do to improve? What's the lesson that we missed so we can do course correction? I'll give you a perfect example. I talked about phones. I have a Samsung. So I'm on Samsung, I think it's 20. Guess what? Samsung had a Samsung 1 that they launched whenever. they've been doing updates and revisions based on feedback, based on how can we do better.
Yes.
It's that part. It's that part. Well, that's what your customer service is. When your customers tell you that you missed it on a thing, instead of getting in your feelings about it, it's like, thank you for letting me know how I can improve.
Yes.
That's how we grow.
That is
That's how you grow as a
exactly
business.
right. That is exactly right. You're so afraid of the criticism that comes in. It's an ego like bust, right? All of a sudden you feel like your head's being deflated because you took a shot, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. That
Right.
is a blessing. The fact that somebody had the ability and maybe even the balls to tell you that
Yep.
this was a mistake and this was the problem I'm having. And when you fix it, they're not only happy, they're grateful. And they're oftentimes going to go out and tell people like, this is the team you need to go to because I had a problem and they fixed it. Because everybody
Yep.
encounters problems each and every day, all the time. Speaking of which, I mean, it's tax season right now. So people are looking at their P&Ls, they're looking at their balance sheets, which means they're looking at that little section called accounts receivable, accounts payable, and they're like, that number's a little too big. So if they want to work with you, thank you so much. What's that process like?
Process is like this. You schedule a call with me. You go to www.collectthecash.biz, click the link and schedule a 30-minute call with me. And then we'll talk about, you're going to fill out the form and you're going to tell me about the state of your AR. Then we're going to have a conversation and we're going to talk about, okay, what do you want to do? Because here's the thing. I can't do anything for you until you tell me what do you want to do. Number one, you have to admit that there's a problem and you want to get it fixed. That's the first thing. Then you can decide, I can do three things. I can come in and train you and your team how to do this better. That's one. Two, I can consult. I can be on retainer for 90 days and you can say, okay, D, we need help with this. You know, my team, I want my team to still do it, but if they get stuck, can we have you on retainer? Sure. Third, you can outsource it to me and my team and we'll take care of it. And then we'll collect it with the fee and the commission for what we collect. That's what we can do for you.
Boom. That's it, ladies and gents. Problem solved. That's what it comes down to. And you came up with these probably because people were like, you know what? I like that option, but I would prefer this, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's how you're getting the feedback all the way through and developing those products and services. Now, you've talked a lot about it, and it's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but...
Me? I'm giving away free money.
Well, maybe not for free. It's going to take a little bit of effort to grab, but, what promos, trainings, giveaways, speaking engagements, books, what do you got going on right now?
So I've got a couple of things. Number one, thank you. First off, if you are a business owner and you are struggling with collecting your cash from your clients, please visit www.collectthecash.biz/book. That's www.collectthecash.biz/book. Do me the honor, do me a favor, get the book, and you get the journal that goes along with it. And I teach you in more in depth how to do what I've been doing for many, many years. That's number one. Number two, I have something on the website actually called 5 Tips to Collect the Cash. There's a checklist that gives you 5 steps that gives you more detail than what I can give you right now. But there's 5 steps, and if you get the checklist, it goes along with the book. So you get the checklist, then you get the book, and then you read it, and you go, "Oh, D, this is great," or you go, "Oh man, I still need to talk to you." That's when you go ahead and you go back and you schedule a call with me, and we can talk about that. Number two, consulting. One of the things I'm offering to business owners, as a thanks to Hernan tonight, is this. If you've got AR and you're struggling and you want to schedule a call with me, you want me to do a Zoom call with you, want me to meet your team, let's schedule it. Let's talk about it. Because here's the thing. I don't want to see another business go out of business, especially when we can fix this. Now, let me say this by saying with this caveat. I am not promising you that I can collect all of your money. That would be a bold-faced lie. I can't promise you I can collect all your money. I can promise you I can teach you the systems and the process and the mindset that has to change so you can actually do this and stop being afraid of it. That I can guarantee you. Because here's the thing. Not only have I collected millions of dollars for the former company I used to work for, the United States Coast Guard headquarters. I don't know, Hernan, you caught this, but my story of how to collect the cash has been featured in Forbes. So if Forbes magazine has endorsed me, so I know what I'm doing. I can do this. I promise you I got this.
That's it, ladies and gents. Oh my, I think it's gonna be my turn, right? My turn to kind of talk about D a little bit. Let's see.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Woo! All right, ladies and gents, look, you already do a good job. You're in business because you're good at what you do. Don't let collecting the funds stop you from growing your business. It is all about the cash flow. And if you're not collecting those receivables, you're hurting your own cash flow, shooting yourself in the foot, and your business is going to hurt, struggle, and possibly fail. Don't follow that route. Instead, I got this banner scrolling at the bottom of the screen, www.collectthecash.biz/book. You need to learn to collect the cash. Now, you got a couple options here. You can do it yourself. Go to www.collectthecash.biz/book. Learn all the steps and strategies so you can get out there and do it yourself. Or my personal favorite, you hire somebody who's already freaking good at it, and you take that learning curve and you shrink it, right? Not like we did COVID, not 2 weeks. No, like literally shrink that thing down and start getting that money that you need today. One of the greatest people endorsed by Forbes is listening here on the show, and she's going to teach you all those secrets. It's very simple. You want to get a hold of her. You want to get a hold of her book. You want to get a hold of your money. Go to www.collectthecash.biz/book. www.collectthecash.biz/book. D, you are full of energy today. You're making businesses thrive, and you're taking away something that, in my opinion, is based in fear. Right? We're so afraid to go after that money. It was hard enough for us to make the sale. It was harder to even do the fulfillment. And now to collect that thing on the end, you're teaching people and giving them the skills and the confidence they need to go after what was already theirs, right? They already did the work. So one last time before we head out, people want to get a hold of you. How do they do that?
First of all, again, thank you so much. If you've been listening to our conversation and you're going, man, I'm great at sales. I can sell all day, every day, but I'm not really good at collecting. Come train with me. Please visit www.collectthecash.biz/book. That's www.collectthecash.biz/book. Number one, download the 5 tips because you need the tips. Get the book. When you get the book, you're gonna be like, oh man, I need these tips. I'm like, yeah, they go together. Just like sales and AR, they go together. Number one. Number two, once you read and you realize I need more, all right, reach out to me and schedule a call with me. So let's talk about it because like I said, I can offer training, I can do consulting, or you can outsource all the. You can just say, here, D, can you take this off my plate and can you help me? Yes, the answer is yes. Now, obviously, we're gonna go through a process. We got to have a conversation. I want to make sure it's a good fit because I don't. Let me make sure I'm clear. I do business to business and business to government collections. I don't do any consumer whatsoever. So I'm not chasing your medical bills. I'm not going after the dentist. We're not dealing with the cable bill. You're a grown person. You can handle that part. But if you're in business and you've got a client that's not paying you, we need to break down the why. Because usually there's a disconnect. There's usually something that's gone wrong. And I get it. Because once you got the sale, you're like, okay, this is cool. I got the sale. I'm doing deliverables, fulfillment. Why aren't they paying me? But you got to go back and find out. And then also you have to track that. Because something I forgot to say is this: what gets measured, what gets measured gets tracked. Just like you do everything else. You track, especially if you're in sales. I know unless you do it on your phone, you probably have a great big whiteboard and you've got it in columns. All the prospects, you're tracking every prospect you done call 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then they go through the next slot. Okay, I gotta send them something else. I gotta follow up with a phone call. I need to do another thing or whatever. You're tracking that process when it goes from lead to conversion because you want to know how long did it take from me having an initial conversation to talk to them, to introduce who I am or what I do, to them saying, yes, I want to work with you. Well, in the same vein, part 2, you got to track your sales. Then you got to track your payables, your invoices. From the time that you delivered that service, delivered that product, when did you bill them? Now let me clarify, because everybody's like, well, D, I don't have those issues. I understand that because there's 2 things I forgot to say. Number one, if you are a transaction-based process or business, rather where you can just swipe a credit card and you can get paid, you don't need me. Because here's the thing: if the credit card doesn't go through, that's simple. Hi, Sally, or hi, John, or whoever. Your credit card bounced. I need you to, another card, or can I do you need 24 hours to make your payment? Then I can swipe it again. Process done. Fine. That's not me. I deal in payment terms. I deal more net 30, net 60, net 90. So that means that there's been a process of how long from when you deliver the service to when you invoice to when you get paid. Usually in that process, there's been time, and then there's been something that's happened like data entry errors or things like that, that nature. So that's the things I deal with, because I forgot to say this, because we live in a world where transactions are really quick. I mean, if you blink, it's like, before you can even leave the store, basically you swipe your credit card. And like I said earlier, when I described about the phone, you don't get to leave the store until it says transaction approved. You do that in the store. You do that online. You're waiting for confirmation of the payment. If that's the way you do your billing and your receivables, you don't need me, because that's an easy fix. I deal more, like I said, I'm dealing more with your payment terms, the net 15, net 30, net 60, net 90, where there's been a large contract and there's been a lot of moving parts and something got dropped. That's where I can come in and say, okay, let's look at your system. Let's see what's working and what's not working. And then also let's talk about your mindset, because that's another thing. A lot of people don't want to face this because they're scared. And I'm like, listen, you don't need to be scared. Here's the thing. If you were scared, why would you be in business? You go into business not because you're scared, but because you have a resource, you have an ability to serve people. That's the same thing I do. I just choose to serve you by helping you get your coins. That's what my passion is to make sure you get paid and stay paid.
That's what it's all about, ladies and gents. Time for you to get paid. If you're sitting there wondering what you got to do, one more time before we head out, go to www.collectthecash.biz/book. Dee's got so much knowledge, so much energy, and she's ready to share it with you. Dee, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Been a pleasure.
Such a good time. A little bit of Uptown Funk to set us out. Ladies and gents, peace. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for watching The Business Bros. If you're ready to get more clients and want to work with The Business Bro, visit our website, www.businessbros.biz, and click on the Need More Customers button, or learn how to generate more referrals with our video testimonial packages. Go to www.businessbros.biz and start getting more customers.